Welcome back to my mental health and crime channel. My name is Huda London. I'm a licensed cognitive behavior therapist and a licensed mental health counselor. I'd like to start by thanking all my viewers, my subscribers for your kind comments, thoughtful comments. And I'm trying to get back to the comments, so please take my apology if I've been taking a bit time. I've been researching behind the scene in my spare time, and luckily it's summer holidays, so I have a bit more time for this case than usual. I really hope that we get the correct justice for these four beautiful souls. They deserve it. And Brian Christopher Koberger deserves the justice. If he's guilty, he deserves what's coming to him. But if he's innocent, he deserves his justice. Because according to me, I see many other people who have been acting really strange and weird in this case. We just want the correct justice. So let me start by saying this is for educational purpose only. Let me start by talking a bit about what has been happening recently. We know that Howard BLUM, I believe his name is, or BLUM, has written out his book. We know that the President's Court wrote out the handbook or the hand guidance of what they have been through when the unalivings happened, unfortunately, in Idaho, Moscow. I personally believe that there is so much books being published. There's so much things being going on behind the scene when the case hasn't even come to the trial. This doesn't make sense, because what they're doing is basically, especially Howard BLUM, although he's been in the case from the beginning and he's an author, I just think that, example, he said that he believes that Maddie was the target. And I was sitting and listening to the mainstream news channels and Howard BLUM himself talking about what he believes. And it just doesn't make sense to me unless he has more inside information, something that we don't have, which I doubt, because this case is on a gag order. So he wouldn't have known information. I doubt Moscow police or the chief or the captain in this case or the FBI would have leaked out information to him. When we use our common sense, obviously people are going to assume that Maddie was the main target, because let's not forget the knife sheath was found near Maddie's bed, just found next to her left side, I think, of her leg or something. So obviously people are going to assume that the person who did this left the knife sheath there because he started off with Maddie as the first victim. I have a problem with that. My issue is that we're not even sure that the knife sheath that has touched DNA, allegedly, of Brian Christopher Koberger was even left there by him. We know that this crime scene wasn't called in to the police until 8-9 hours later. If you go according to the timeline of 3 to 4 a.m., like they said, in the first 7 weeks, that means the surviving roommates or nobody called the police for 9 hours. If we go according to the timeline that they came later on with, on the first week of January 2023, they said that the timeline was between 4 to 4 or something like that. And they said in the beginning that DM and BF were sleeping in the first floor, that they did not witness anything, and that they were nor witnesses. Chief Fry clearly said in his interview, his press conference to the ABC reporter, when she said, "Are you trying to tell me that the surviving roommates did not hear anything? Were they injured?" She asked. So he said, "No." Did they, and they didn't call in for 8 hours. And he said, "Yeah, that's according to what we know. We are investigating it." Then she said something about, "Yeah, so are you trying to say that the witnesses didn't call in?" And Chief Fry was very firm with his voice. He said, "I did not say that they are witnesses. I said they were just there." So clearly, there's a big issue there, a major red flag, because these girls were not witnesses at the start. I don't know how they became witnesses later. Were they made witnesses after the white Hyundai Elantra came up, or down the lane, so that they could make sense of the story? Because obviously, if they say we're looking for white Hyundai Elantra and the call came in 8 hours later, they can't explain who came in and did these horrific crimes. Let's not forget that the Captain Lanier, was saying from the start, so was Chief Fry, saying that we are searching for a white Hyundai Elantra 2011 to 2016 model. He said clearly that we want to speak to the occupants in the car. The occupant or occupants. So there was talk about there was occupants in a car. And occupant. Could it have been possible, this is just my thoughts, could it have been possible that there was 2 white Hyundai Elantras going around there? One could have been BK himself, but maybe he wasn't involved. Or one could have been possibly the people who really did these horrific crimes. Because they keep on mentioning occupants. I wonder where the occupants have come from. Is it a witness who saw occupants driving in front of the house? I have a couple of questions that doesn't make sense for me. It doesn't sit right that Mr. Blum is making a book so early on in the case, because this basically tampers with the jury. This is going to make it cloudy for the jury if they don't know about this case, and if they read his book, they will assume that, okay, Maddie's the main target, or Kaylee's the main target because knife sheet was lying there. These crimes, I personally believe, was 2 separate incidents. I believe that the couple was a different incident by allegedly, in my opinion, the frats, because there was a Sigma Chi party. Like we know, there was trouble with the Davids. There was a fight in the Sigma Chi. Banfield being one of my favorite clips. I personally believe those 3 boys did not come from maths. They were sitting and guessing and speculating. When the cop asked them, "Where did you come from?" One of them said, "I can't remember the person's name." The second one said, he kept on like nodding his head. And then the third one said, "I think his name was Mats." Okay, now you've gone to a party and you don't even know whose party it is. That's a red flag for me personally. Then you have these 3 boys walking from nowhere. When they were told to stop by the police, they ignored the police and they continued walking. The police said, "Moscow police, stop." They did not stop. The police shined their torches. One of them actually ran behind them. He managed to get all 3 of them to walk and come. As soon as they were walking towards him, if you'll remember, the officer turned his torch this direction right behind him because he got startled, and it was Saeed who was behind him with 2 cans of beer saying, "What's up?" I've never seen a traffic stop like that. The Banfield is a classic piece of body cam, especially for undercover cops. I've never seen undercover cops chatting with students, telling them that they have been put down to hybrid cars because the state is trying to save money. You're supposed to be undercover. Why would you be telling your secrets to the students so that they run when they see you? They already ran from you. You're supposed to pull them up and you're supposed to make them take their hands out of the pocket. That did not happen. One of the 3 boys had on Vans shoes. I take that serious because Van Shoes was mentioned in the affidavit that there was a footprint in front of Dylan's room, DM's room. That wasn't taken seriously. Then you have Mr. Said saying, "What's up?" to the police. I've never witnessed anyone in any country saying "What's up?" to the police unless you know them personally. Then you have at 3:16 the figures running to the Sigma Chi. All this, I personally believe, is connected a lot to the couple, E and Zana. Maddie and Kaylee, I strictly believe, has something to do with the Corner Club. They were victims to some other people. Clearly, we had Mr. Jack Showalter saying, you know they're going to get you for that, Maddie. And then there's a time Kaylee says, "Maddie, what did you tell Adam?" And she said, "I told Adam like everything." We have somebody passing a threat there. Even if he's not passing a threat, he actually gave her the message of the threat. He said, "You know they're going to get you for that, Maddie." 2 hours later on, they got Maddie, they got Kaylee, they got Zana, they got E. Doesn't make sense. Can't be a coincidence. Mr. Jack S. drove to Boise, Idaho. Very interesting. He was one of the people that we know of that drove to his parents' cabin, allegedly. That is 5.5 hours from Moscow, Idaho. 2 a.m. at night. He looked like he was drinking. Hoodie guy was not there to be the personal angel bodyguard trying to get the girls home safely. You could see that he was really upset that the girls left him. They ditched him. There was a point where you see Maddie pointing her finger directly to Jovito with his Coca-Cola can, and she was pointing a hand to Jack S. And she says, "You, Mr. F you." That is on the news channel itself. That is so clear to hear. Something was going on with Jack Showalter and the two girls. He passed the threat, or he told them what was going to happen. They're going to get you for that, Maddie. You know they're going to get you for that, Maddie. That's exactly what he said. You know they're going to get you for that, Maddie. I don't know what happened at the Corner Club. I would have loved to be a fly on the wall and have heard that conversation. We have Adam L., Jack D., Maddie, Kaylee, Jovito, Aiden with the long hair. We have so many other people who were actually at the Grub truck. The Grub truck, sorry, not at the Grub truck, that were actually at the Corner Club. And then they all moved to the Grub truck. We don't know who's involved, but I personally believe there are many other people involved. If you take a cup of coffee, I would advise y'all, or a drink you like. If you don't want to watch a movie, I would advise you watch the Grub truck 30, 40 minutes before the girls come in. Not 10 minutes or 5 minutes before Kaylee and Maddie make their entrance, but way much before that. Just watch what is going on. These girls are being, there was a surveillance team on them. From Jovito to everyone standing there. Jovito clearly said in his interview, if you remembered, it's strange that not many people caught on to that. He said on his interview, and nobody even asked him. It was on TikTok. He said, "Oh, many people think that I've done it. I couldn't have done it because when I reached home, the girls were alive. How would he know what time the girls were unalived?" That is a red flag. I find it fishy that the police wasn't going around integrating, like taking police integrations. What they were doing is the people were saying, everyone was saying, "I contacted the police," and they didn't have time. "I went to the police." What's her name? Alvira said that. Jovito said that. We had many people who said that. So what was the police doing exactly? Even the driver said that he contacted the police and they told him, "Yeah, we know who you are." So was a proper thorough search being done in the beginning? Was there something? In fact, there wasn't an investigation being done because I just remembered Everyone was allowed to go home for Thanksgiving. Where do you see such a thing happening? There are like over a couple of thousands, 11,000, I believe, students in Idaho, Moscow, and they all were let go home so that they can. I do understand, as especially as a mental health counselor, I do understand the children, the students were traumatized. They needed to go home. They needed to get emotional, moral support from their parents and from their loved ones. But for crying out loud, we have a quadruple going on. Nobody should have been allowed to go out. Everyone should have stayed in college. I don't understand how Mr. Jack Showalter drove all the way to Boise, Idaho. Another thing that's interesting that I've been saying from day one, which I showed you pictures of not Maddie, sorry, BF sitting when she was like 15, 16 years old in high school. She was sitting, they were camping actually. She was sitting on Jack Showalter's lap. DM went to the same high school. We have Jake, Maddie's boyfriend, who's from Boise. We have Quincy, DM, his ex-boyfriend or former boyfriend or still boyfriend, who was allegedly seen that night, although he denies it. We have him from Boise, Idaho. Just count, there are like 4 or 5 people already from Boise, Idaho. 3 of them guaranteed went to the same high school. You have DM, you have BF, and you have Showalter, who went to the same high school. Now I picture this. If you grew up with someone in the high school and then you'll move to another city, another town, and you'll go to the university together, that directly means that you'll have links with each other. You were camping with each other. You were sitting on each other's laps, for crying out loud. So basically what I'm trying to say is this whole case sometimes annoys me because we can clearly see that there is so much things that have been going on from the beginning, but everything is on gag order, so we're not getting the answer. That is all right. We can live with that. But the fact that people are writing books and spreading misinformation or sitting and guessing who was the victim, that is going to actually really tamper with the jury. Imagine people who haven't heard this case and who've read Mr. BLUM's book. They're going to think Maddie was a target. Let's not forget, we've heard many times that Kaylee was the target, according to her father, Steve, because she had gouges and she had the most wounds. But let's be honest. We have 2 young women who are both, y'all know what, on the same bed. Don't y'all think there would be enough red liquid that is going to mix with each other? If it is one person who did it or 2 or 3 people, you can imagine everything, people trying to defend themselves. DNA will be mixed up there. It's going to be difficult to find out exactly unless the coroner knows that, like I remember the coroner said, the timing of the deaths was between 2 to 3. That was even changed, just like the timeline. Now, when a coroner says something, she would know the timing of the deaths because obviously they know when they last ate, what was in their stomach, all these things. I was listening to the coroner today. Macbeth was her name, and I'm still baffled. I'm shocked. The fact that she says that the autopsy will take a couple of weeks, but that is not even relevant. Can you believe that? These students could have overdosed. God forbid. These students could have been overdosed. These students could have been poisoned. These students could have had anything in their body. And then we have a coroner who's trying to say, she's the coroner, she's the lawyer, she's a nurse, she has so many degrees, this is a small town, I don't know what's going on. She said that it is irrelevant. Oh my God, I still can't believe that. I can't get over the fact that a coroner is saying that that is irrelevant. That is how, from the start, I believe that something was really wrong, that something is not being I won't say a cover up, but something is clearly not right here. Because according to the book, you're supposed to check the toxicological reports and make sure that everything is ruled out. So this case is just going out of hand. But the fact that I've been watching for 2 days what Mr. Howard Blum or Bloom is doing and saying is really tampering with the case. This is really out of order. He's spoiling it for the victims' families, for the victims to get justice. I remember Steve himself saying in the beginning that Mr. Blum has been saying things in the AIRMAIL that isn't true. So picture this. He's not only frustrating the parents of these victims, he's actually going according to his belief. It's like me or all of us YouTubers and all of our subscribers and all of us who've been following this case, we all decide to write a book and write our opinions. And then just say I write a book and I say, yes, I believe the Sigma boys are involved because of the 4chan example or because of the 4 figures running. And I believe the 3 targets was Maddie, Ia, and Zana because the 4chan said it. I'm just giving you an example. And I say, yes, it was definitely those 3. And they started this whole incident. They started the crimes or the unalivings with Maddie because the knife sheet was there. That wouldn't be fair for the case. And that wouldn't be right for me to be writing a book. It's not right for any journalist, anybody to be writing a book when the case hasn't even gone to trial. When they do such things, I promise you all what is going to happen is a mistrial. And just imagine if Brian Christopher Koberger actually was involved in the case. Maybe he didn't do it by himself, but he was involved and he gets away with that. Then we have people like Scott, the president, to thank, and Mr. Bloom to thank, Mr. Blum, because they are literally champing with the cases. Then we have Steve G, who's the father, who's giving his opinions, giving his interpretation of what the coroner told him. They all could have had serious injuries. And that's another thing that doesn't make sense to me. For all these victims to be having so serious injuries, do y'all think that, let's picture this now, they're trying to tell us that BK came in within 15 minutes, did all this. And not only did he do this, let's be clear, he actually took time in doing so much on each and every victim, if that makes sense. If he had one victim in mind, I could understand that he took longer time with the victim, but then apparently it seems like all the victims had serious wounds. We've been hearing terrible stories of what has happened to them. And another thing that is very obvious that I've always pointed out, like 7-8 months ago, I used to always say Kaylee, Maddie, and Xana was cremated, and I used to find that strange. And then recently we found out that he was cremated too. So that means all 4 of them had seriously bodily harm injuries. They had gouges. It's not like it would have taken them a couple of hours for them to, you'll get me, for them to bleed out. No. According to the coroner, it went quick. So what are they trying to tell us? That BK came in like a hitman, like John Wick. He came in like the mob, and he came and he did all this by himself. And guess what? He's not a hitman. He's a professor. Or not a professor, sorry. He's a teacher assistant. Yes, I can believe with the cleanup. I've always said cleanup. If BK is involved, I believe he could be. If he's involved, it will be more likely with the cleanup. But I believe this is more than BK. This is more than one victim. BK could have been involved with other suspects. or with other people who had it out for these 4 victims. But this is really seriously upsetting me that Mr. Howard BLUM is sitting and writing a book. People are literally making money out of this case when they know so well, because these are educated journalists. These people have been to university. They know through experience of being a journalist. Mr. Howard should know that it's wrong that it's wrong to write books when the case hasn't even started. This is going to end up, remember these words, this is going to, in a way, it's good for Brian Kohlberg. And that will be wrong in case Brian actually did it. I really don't understand what is going on. But when they're coming out with Maddie being the target, the knife sheet could have been put near Maddie. Do not forget, we had 8 to 9 hours that people did not call the police. So I'm really, really stressed out with them changing the timelines, with the coroner saying that what's it called? She said the toxicological report is not important. What are you a coroner for? That should be the first thing you're supposed to be doing. Making sure that these young people were not overdosed. There was actually rumors going on that they were overdosed. So I don't believe Maddie was the target. I don't believe Kaylee was the target. I don't believe Xana was the target. I don't believe E was the target. I believe all 4 of them were equally the target. If they wanted Maddie and Kaylee, they could have gone directly to the 3rd floor. There was no reason for them to be in the 2nd floor. If they wanted E and Xana, they could have gone directly to the 2nd floor and gone out quicker. Nobody would have taken the risk to spend 15, 20 minutes in the house, do all this and expect the 3rd floor not to hear what's happening in the 2nd floor, or to expect the 2nd floor not to hear what's happening in the 3rd floor. This is really strange. And I'm getting upset because, sorry to say, these people really think that we must be some suckers. God gave us a brain. God gave us common sense. I'm not saying that BK is innocent. I'm just saying that there are more people involved. We have Jack D, who was driving a white Hyundai Elantra himself. And in fact, his was the 2000 model, 2011 to 2013 model. You know they're going to get you for that, Maddie. We have Mr. Jack S. passing a threat, and Maddie was gone. Kaylee was gone. The couple was gone. 4 people were gone after that threat was passed. And they're trying to tell us, no, that's nothing. What did they say to Adam? The police are saying, no, there's nothing. Steve is trying to say, no, it's innocent. Adam, there's nothing about Adam there. Adam knew the dog. Jack D knew the dog. It's his dog. I always say whoever went in this house knew the dog. They knew how to keep the dog quiet. And guess what? This was a party house, a party venue. Let's be honest. These are college kids. Everyone had the front door key, code. So everyone, I wouldn't be surprised if over 50 people knew Murphy. And Murphy wasn't a big dog. I'm sure they all were friendly with Murphy. And Murphy used to not only live with Kaylee, Murphy used to live mostly with Jack D, because apparently Kaylee was not supposed to have a dog in her house. So imagine how many people have gone to Adam and Jack D's house. They all used to play with Murphy. The police never told us which door was used. The sliding door, the back door, the windows, the 2nd floor windows, the front door. The front door was left open. When Chief Fry was asked about the front door being left open, he said, oh, I don't know about that. I need to go and check that. And it was already in the mainstream news that at 8:30, a man on his way to work passed and he saw the front door wide open, and it's cold. Why would the front door be wide open? Are they trying to tell us BK did not feel the breeze? BF? How couldn't she feel the breeze and the coldness? The door was left open. The tripod told us, the people who are recording in the tripod from Chicago, they said they checked the tripod the next day when they heard of this incident, the quadruples, they went and checked it. And guess what they found? A female, blonde female running out 2 a.m. at night from the back door. So it has to be from the sliding door. And she was hysterical. What did his mother and father said? 2 a.m. is the hardest time for a family. What is happening at the Grub truck at 2 a.m.? The group is yelling, Xana, Xana, no, Xana. What were they watching? A fight club? What were they actually watching? Are they trying to tell us all these things are not connected? Maybe I would have never looked at this case if I didn't see the four figures running. Maybe I wouldn't have looked at this case if I didn't see what Saeed was watching on his mobile device, his phone device. I wouldn't have bothered with this case if everyone in the Grub truck acted normal. But they all looked like they were waiting for the targets to walk in. And that was the girls. David Lodge had his hands in his pocket. Underdog. He knows exactly. Trying to tell me that Huda Umar Ali is Huda London is a liar. That's what he said last time. Why would you say that? And I was in somebody else's chat. He said that because he said, Huda London, mental health and crime, David L is innocent. So I said, David, is that you? And he said, no. He said, you're a liar. So he knows exactly why I'm on your case. I'm on your case because I do my research. I watch your figures running. And I've always said the 4chan is not about a female who wrote it. Honestly, you'll need to research it properly to understand. It is the Sigma Chi. You can see from the windows, nobody was trying to distract us with that. It was the Sigma Chi. Somebody was chelling on them. Someone was snitching on them. Someone was ratting them out. Somebody wanted them caught. It could have been somebody who cared of one of the 4 victims. Maybe it was somebody, the frat brothers, who really cared about E and wanted them to get caught. The way they did it, 19 minutes. They said they would run. Within 19 minutes, get it done. No pew-pew. You'll understand. They said no GUNS because it's too loud. This looked like an enlivening of hate, revenge, maybe even money, jealousy. I don't believe a random stalker all the way from Pullman, who has so many other young, beautiful women in Pullman that he could have done this to, God forbid, decided to come all the way to Moscow, Idaho, and come to a house with a dog in it that is a party venue that he could have met anybody. No. And I still believe it is an inside job too. The surviving roommates, I'm not saying they're guilty, I'm not saying they're innocent, but I'm saying they know more than they say. It doesn't take 8 hours in a frozen shock. I've always said this. For them to have been in the house, that means they were comfortable with the person who was doing it. They knew that that person wasn't going to touch them. That could have been part of the deal. Because DM saw the person face to face. And then she's trying to tell us, I saw bushy eyebrows. No, it's a known fact in psychology. We always say the first thing you see is eyes. You always catch people's eyes. And he had a mask on, a half mask. Bushy eyebrows, a bit of a stretch. Athletic build, maybe it was a stocky person. 5'11" is the description she gave. Let's not forget. 5'11". When did they went and find BK, who's 6'1", 6'2"? This doesn't make sense. Make sense. These people went and changed the timeline so that they could distract us. Pay attention to everything that's happening between 2 to 3:30. Maddie and Kaylee made the last calls to Jack D at 2:54. 2:56, you hear a female yelling, stop it, stop. Exactly at 3 a.m. at night, you see the black truck that looks like it belongs to DM driving in Taylor Avenue. 3:16, you see the figures running. 2 a.m., you can hear in the Grub truck, they're calling Xana's name. That's why I say it's 2 separate incidents. I really believe the couple were taken out first. The girls were taken out. The Maddie and Katie were taken out next. Like Steve said, they didn't need to go upstairs. Make this make sense. I believe BK knows something about this case. Otherwise, he wouldn't be just rotting away in prison and not coming out to the proper alibi. I do understand he doesn't have to give his alibi, but it just doesn't make sense. If you're innocent, you would have come out with your alibi immediately to prove that you weren't even there. The YY Park was closed. It closes 10 p.m. His phone was on, off, on, off. And another thing that people don't discuss about, I want to know how they trace BK's phone between 10 past 9 to 9:32, like 16, 17 minutes or 12 minutes. He came back to the crime scene on the road above the house, behind the house. He was allegedly, that's what the affidavit said. That was what was said in the beginning, I'm sorry. So why would he come back? Is it because he forgot the knife sheet? Or is it because he lent the knife to maybe one of the surviving roommates? Why is he asking for BF? Exculpatory evidence. Did she borrow the knife from him? Did she say, I want it for safety, I'm worried, and could they have used it or given it to someone to use it so that they could frame him? Why would it take 8 hours to call the police? Why did y'all call Hunter first? Hunter ain't a paramedics. He ain't a doctor. I don't know what skills he has for y'all to call him first. Everybody was in that house yelling, screaming, talking on top of the 911 call. Many people were talking. What were they doing in the house? The knife sheet could have come from anywhere. I've always said that from the beginning. I'm not saying that they're framing BK. I'm just saying the knife sheet could have come from anywhere. It could have been BK's. You could have lent it to them. It's only touch DNA. Although it's in the snap button, it could have been his and he could have lent it to one of the surviving roommates or one of the victims. This case is just getting out of control. It's really getting out of control. And it's really sad the direction it's going into, because all these people are tainting with the jury. This is just going to be worse for the 4 students to get their justice. I can't believe that they let them go. Let all the students go home to their parents. Oh, the one who did it, the suspects who did it, just go home. You all can go home. What happened to Hudson Lindo? April 2023, he was found at the Paradise Creek. He came from a Sigma Chi party. Why? What happened to him? There was a fight at the Sigma Chi that night. The Davids, E, and Zana. Allegedly, what happened? He said in the 4chan that they will go when the lights go off. Then you have this other group who are at the corner club telling Maddie directly, you know they're going to get you for that, Maddie. Come on, jackass. You gave the girl a threat. All 4 of them are gone. Like you said, they're coming to get you, Maddie. You know they're going to get you, Maddie. And Maddie was gone. Katie was gone. Santa was gone. E was gone. So I still do not trust Jack D and Adam and the people in the corner club. I don't trust the Davids. One of the David was already in the grub truck with his hands in his pockets, waiting. As soon as Kaylee and Maddie came in, he turned his back. He turned his back towards them so that they couldn't see it was him. And Jack S came in, they nodded their heads to each other. Pay attention to what is going on in the grub truck. Then the guy comes who looks either a Greek, Mexican, Latino, mixed race. I don't know what nationality he had, but as soon as he comes in with the blue Nike shoes and the tracksuit, as soon as that guy comes in, you can see him texting Jack S. The guy standing in front of him was texting them. 3 people were texting each other. David L. and his 2 friends were standing with their hands in their pockets, looking at Maddie and Kaylee. You have Joe Vito with the Coca-Cola can. You have Joe Vito standing and cracking jokes with Jack S. And then he said, I don't even know them. He said he didn't know a hoodie guy, but yet they were talking like they've known each other since 1990s. I don't know how old they are, but they knew each other for so many years. Pay attention to all the people in the Grub tugs, mostly fraternities, especially Sigma Chi. Wow, that can't be just a coincidence. Pay attention to what is going on in Banfield. All these people were up to no good that night. And a threat was passed. That's the main thing. A threat was passed. You know they're going to get you for that Maddie. They got Maddie. They got Kay. They got Xana. They got E. Let me know what you'll think in your comments about Mr. BLUM or Mr. BLUM, his book. Him calling Maddie the main target. Doubt it. Anyone could have been the target. I believe all of them were the targets. I believe they all planned it. Whoever wanted to get these 4 students. There were 2 separate groups, I believe. One group came for the girls. That's why the injuries were different. That's why sharp edge weapon was used on the people downstairs, the couple. I think it was the golf stick. Pay attention to the golf set. Some of the golf sets are missing when Chief Fry was putting it in the van, in the U-Haul. This doesn't make sense. What happened to the red Mustang at St. Deacon's Road? The forensic team were inside and outside with their kit. That was the only time they had the forensic kit. So what happened there? What about the white Hyundai in Oregon? They said there was nothing there. Everything was debunked. I believe the victims were gagged, honestly. I believe they were tied up because the picture Saeed was watching, it looked like people were tied up. Rumors were going around in the beginning that people were tied up. The police had to debunk everything, change the timeline. Allegedly, in my opinion, for a reason. Chief Fry clearly said that he said that the surviving roommates were not witnesses, they were just there. When did they become witnesses, Chief Fry? Explain that. 7 weeks later? Why? They didn't even come to the memorial, the 2 surviving roommates, to talk about what happened. They didn't even come for the memorial. They let the pastor talk for them. And I'll end this clip by saying, may the 4 victims rest in peace. May the correct justice be served. I hope this doesn't end up in the court for years and years. I hope it doesn't end up to be a mistrial and that they don't catch the proper people who did this. I hope everything is exposed. I wonder why Inan Hash was subpoenaed by Ann Taylor, and then later on she said it's all right. She's going to re-subpoena him again. And they need to put a gag order on Mr. BLUM. Enough is enough. And Scott, the president, making handbooks and everybody seems to be writing a book. On whose expense? On the 4 victims? Let them get their justice. Then write your books. In my opinion. I really feel sorry for the parents of these 4 victims and their siblings along. They'll have to go through this. Nobody in the university wants to talk or be a witness because it is fraternities and sororities. Why were you all sending Venmos to each other? Jack K, how come nobody talks about you? You are the first person who opened a GoFundMe for Eaton. You send the Venmos around first. You and your sister and Saeed were sending each other Venmos. What happened at 3 a.m. for y'all to be sending Venmos to each other? That was the same time, mind you, that the black truck who was driving flashing its lights from 1122 Kings Road, came down Taylor Avenue and went. What was actually going on that night? Then you have Saeed telling the cops, "What's up?" I still can't get over that. What's up, Saeed? Were you there to distract the others? Those three boys did not know if they came from Matt's house or whose house they came from. I believe you all came from 1122 Kings Road. One of y'all had on Vans, other one had on goggles at night. The police didn't tell y'all to take it out. What was that? Were they actually under covers? I hate asking that. But were y'all under covers? You've never seen police working like that. Imagine undercovers there's a reason that they're called undercovers. Y'all are supposed to be hiding your identity, but you're actually exposing your identity by telling these boys, no, we drive hybrids now. Because we drive hybrids because the government is saving money. The state is saving money. What was going on? Saeed was watching crime scene pictures right in front of your faces. Make this make sense. Guys, I keep on saying that this is my last clip that I'm making in Who Did London Mental Health and Crime for now. I've already started. I made a nice clip. If you want to go and see it, it's Psychology and Crime. The link is in many of the comment channels downstairs. It's even in the community guideline, in the community page of mine. Please follow that link. Go to that channel. I just have 3-4 clips there, but I'm starting to build that channel, and I'm really going to put in things that I've been researching. Like I told you all, I believe it was yesterday or day before, that I am actually working on something solid that I believe is really, really connected to this case. I'm almost halfway through. I'm just bringing the connections. I already know the connections, but the thing is, every time I think of putting up the clip or doing it now, then I find more and more things pointing me at the direction, and I know and I believe that I'm in the right direction. So please help me with Psychology and Crime. Please like, share, subscribe, share it with each other, because I'm going to be putting all the goodies, all the good stuff there, hopefully. And I love my mental health and crime channel too. So please, if anyone is using anything from my channel, use it under fair use purpose. There's not a problem to do that, but there's a certain creator who's been just helping herself recently with all my stuff, and I don't appreciate that. I keep on mentioning that because I don't mean to sound like a stuck record, but I'm really getting frustrated because people have worked hard to make their contents. I wouldn't just go to a channel and pick up their stuff. That is wrong. Completely wrong. We all now and then find some things in TikTok that we use the picture and we talk about it as fair use purpose. But to come and literally take someone's content and everything, that is plagiarism, like they say in the university. That is not right. Anyway, guys, subscribers, viewers, I love you all. Stay blessed. Have a beautiful week. Let's hope we get justice, the correct justice for the 4 victims and for BK. If BK is involved, then he needs to go down. But if he's not involved, then we need to fight for the correct justice. Take care, guys. Please subscribe to the other channel. You will be seeing more and more clips in that other channel. So don't be surprised if this channel starts getting quiet for a while. I keep on putting down the links, and people ask me, like, I can't find the link. But if you'll follow the links in the community page, and if you'll go to the comments that I'm answering people, I'm trying to paste the link there too. So it's pasted in many places in the comments. I love my subscribers. I really respect y'all. I really care for y'all. I love y'all because y'all are thoughtful, mindful, caring, very passionate in this case. Y'all motivate me to try and do better in this case. And if I do anything wrong, I apologize in advance, but I'm trying my best to keep it professional. I don't want it to be talking about DM is gender, which is completely discrimination. If she's trans or not, that is not our business. talking about Alevida is DV with a husband. That is wrong. I think we need all the creators need to focus on the case, the victims, and not start making other victims. We don't know if the surviving roommates were involved or not. I just find them to be fishy, but I'm not going to sit and make what's it called? Not going to spread rumors about them like a certain creator is doing. I'm being serious. You can see for the last 2-3 days, especially tonight, it was about DM and agenda, and that is completely wrong. That is completely wrong. Her father has asked us to leave her alone. She's only a 20-year-old person. Let's not do that to her. We don't need her to end up in counseling. People don't understand how traumatizing this is for people. People end up getting PTSD. People start ending up getting other serious mental health illnesses. We don't know, the surviving roommates could have actually witnessed these things and locked themselves in the room, and they could have been scared for their life. It is possible. So we shouldn't be guessing what gender they are. They're half our age. They could be our children. That's wrong. I can't keep, guys, I'm sorry. Certain things when I see, I don't like to just keep it into myself. I like to protect the surviving roommates too, because we still don't know if they're guilty or not. And not only that, it's called equality rights. We're not allowed to discriminate people who are trans, LGBT, whatever. We are supposed to let people live the way they live. People have their choices in life, and for us to be even discussing it when we don't know if it's true as a YouTube creator shows how unprofessional, unmindful we are. To be keeping on talking about the 4chan, saying the disgusting words that is written about Kaylee, Kaylee's mother, Maddie, E's mother. And you'll know exactly who's doing this, because this has been going on for a week. We shouldn't be encouraging. This ain't about views and subscribers. This is about wrong is wrong, period. We should be here to defend these 4 victims. We should be here to guard their family, to love their family, to look after their family. They're the victims. It's really wrong what is happening. People can mislike me for saying that, but I stand for what I believe. And working as a licensed mental health counselor and studying for so many years, it's very sad, the topics that they're discussing about in that channel. It's really so unprofessional. Even if somebody wrote that on 4chan, 4chan is just 4chan. There's a reason it's called 4chan. They just put in rubbish. That's why the person is anonymous. It's really wrong. It's really wrong. Guys, please like, share, subscribe. If you don't see me here, I've already put in clips in psychology and crime. I'll meet you out there. Just follow the link. Have a lovely day and a lovely week. Stay blessed. Love you all.